to Spark Mart. We're an organic food store located throughout Michigan. We hired some consultants to focus on our focal job of cashier. Let's see how it went. Zach Chapman.
Zach Anderwent, nice to meet you.
Hallie Beggany, nice to meet you.
All right, well, thanks for having us in. We figured we'd hear from you first about what were some issues you have going on right now.
Yeah, just a couple things about our cashiers. First one is their image that they're promoting. We just don't think they accurately reflect our company, and they don't know much about the products either that they're selling. So, second thing, they just aren't very motivated, the cashiers. I know the job isn't very challenging, but we just want our cashiers to have a little sense of meaningfulness.
Okay. Understandable.
Good. Well, we actually had two ideas in mind. We'll start with the first one. We were thinking maybe a more structured interview, so you can kind of get the caliber of cashier that you want just from the interview. And the way to do that would be just to ask some questions that are the same for each candidate. So you can judge them purely based on the same questions, so there's no confusion.
And ahead of time, kind of have a goal of what you're expecting to see,
Right.
what you think are some good answers, and kind of rate their answers on that.
Right. We want to look at how they handle past experiences versus an opinion question. So if you ask them something, we want to say, how did you handle this in the past versus how would you handle this in the future? And then to answer your health conscious, we want them to be familiar with the products. Just say in the interview, kind of get that
Directly
from
ask them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'll show your strategy too, if that's something that you value is important.
Oh, definitely for this company.
Yeah, so you would want to let the interviewee know that.
Okay, sounds good.
Also to promote their kind of like motivation, because you said they were kind of lacking on that.
Yes.
We're thinking about instilling like a actual goal for them, which is it needs to be challenging and specific. So we were thinking maybe a goal where they would promote a product once a week, and that would actually show their familiarity with the
different one
products.
every week?
Yeah. You could, change it with your discretion too. And then based on how well they kind of increase their sales with that, so they'll have like a little box of what they want to set up, and you'll count that at the end of the week, and kind of see which cashier does the best with doing that.
And something I would suggest to you as a manager, setting that goal up, there's the possibility that cashiers get talking a little much, or if they're promoting the product and talking on top, customers can be impatient. So I would suggest that you watch that, carefully, make sure that obviously they are promoting the product but aren't saying.
You don't want to drive the customers off.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So those are some.
And something that can come from it is bonuses or promotion opportunities, and that I think would definitely increase their motivation for the job.
That sounds really good.
All right. Well, those are our proposed suggestions. So we'll let you run some interviews, and we'll meet back with you, and we'll see how your candidates go.
See how those go.
Thank you.
Thanks,
All right.
Zach. Take care.
Yeah, you too.
Thanks again.
Do you consider yourself a particularly health conscious person?
Well, not particularly. I try to be health conscious, but it's not that important to me. I like junk food. Actually, it's my first time to be in a store like this.
I consider myself very health conscious. I have shopped at the store before, and I'm not a very big fan of junk food or similar foods, so yes, I'm very health conscious.
Can you explain a situation in one of your previous jobs in which you encountered a customer that was rude and irritating? How do you handle it, and would you make any changes in the future if a similar situation happened?
Oh, actually, that never happens to me before. I think I'll accept it to save some time, and I think maybe I'll ask a manager about this kind of situation later.
In my past job, I've experienced upset and rude customers. Usually I would have just dealt with it by myself, or if the customers were still dissatisfied, I would call the manager over. But I guess in the future, I would try to call the manager sooner, just so it doesn't escalate or get.
Zach, how are you?
Hey, good to see you again.
Nice to see you
Holly, how
again.
are you?
All right, so Holly and I got a chance to take a look at the interviews. There were a couple questions in particular that we thought were kind of game-changing as far as the way they answered them, and maybe which candidate will stand out versus the other. But before we share with you what we thought, I'd like to hear what you thought about the interviews.
Well, candidate A, he said he wasn't very health conscious and also didn't have much experience as a cashier, while candidate B said she's actually been to our store before, also experienced as a cashier. So those are some things that stood out to me. What do you guys think?
That would probably help with our promoting idea too about the product.
Oh, yeah.
If she shops there, you know.
Yeah, I would think she would do well with that. We actually agree with you. That was actually one of the clips that we pulled from the interview. And also the very last question you asked about the situational and their past experiences. One thing we mentioned in our first consultation is that we wanted to focus on past, how they handled things in the past and not necessarily how they would handle it in the future. And I think candidate A kind of was a little vague and never had, he's never experienced anything like that before, so that could be a little iffy. Whereas candidate B, she's experienced it before and she had knowledge on how she would change it. So I think she actually gave a really great answer. So.
And yeah, going through the clips and discussing between ourselves, I think our recommendation would be to go with the candidate B.
Yeah, I think she did well.
That's what I was thinking as well. In the past, I would have been unsure between these candidates, but after our meeting today, I think you guys are right.
Great.
Glad we could be of help.
Yep.
Thank you.
All right, thanks, Zach.
See you guys.
All right, good luck.
I'm so nervous. Oh my god, I don't even know how I did. What about you?
Well, I think I did well. I'm still getting the job. I don't want to get back to McDonald's anymore.
I'm loving it.
Hi, nice to see you again. Well, congratulations. You did great on your interview.
Thank you.
We've run down most of the things so far, but just this one last thing I want to tell you about. We're doing this new goal thing, so you're going to promote one product that you like at each week. At the end of the week, we're going to add up the totals of all the cashiers, and you may get a...
So if I do well, what happens then?
Well, there's many things. There's prizes that we're going to give out, and then possibly lead to a promotion if you do well over a long period of time.
And I get to pick any product that I want to pick.
Yeah, you said you're familiar with the store, so I'm sure you know many of our products. So just pick one that's familiar to you and that you think you can sell well.
Okay, sounds good.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Now that we've hired our new cashier, let's see how she does with our product promotion.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Getting some gravy for Thanksgiving?
Yeah, I can't wait.
Would you like some apple cider to go with that?
What kind of apple cider?
It is organic apple cider. It's my all-time favorite. It goes great with Thanksgiving meals.
That actually sounds really good. I was looking for something to serve. I'll take 2 of them.
Okay. And your total will be $16.99.
Great. There you go.
Here's
And
the
you can
change.
keep the change.
Okay.
Thank you. Ooh,
Have a nice day.
thanks. You too.
So you've been with us for just over a year now. We have a supervisor opening in our Ann Arbor branch. You've been great with customers and promoting products. How do you think you do in Ann Arbor?
Oh my gosh. Thank you. That's a great opportunity. I never expected to come up with that. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.